Have you ever stopped to wonder if we really know all the creatures that inhabit our planet? Science tells us that many species went extinct thousands, even millions of years ago. But is that really true? Or could it be that some of those creatures are still alive, hidden away in forests, mountains, and remote regions that humankind has never fully explored? Get ready, because in today's video you're going to discover 7 animals officially considered extinct but that may still be roaming the earth in secret. Each of them carries mysteries, recent reports, and stories that challenge the very logic of science. And once you hear this evidence, you'll start asking yourself, could the impossible actually be real? So settle in, because what you're about to discover might just change the way you see the natural world. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video with someone who also loves mysteries. Now, let's explore together the extinct animals that may still be alive, and in the end, you decide whether to believe these stories or not. The Megatherium was one of the largest creatures ever to walk the planet. A colossal ground sloth that could grow up to 20 feet long and weigh nearly 4 tons. Imagine an animal so strong it could topple entire trees with the weight of its own body. It lived throughout South America for thousands of years and, according to fossil records, vanished around 10,000 years ago. The most likely causes were climate change and relentless hunting by humans. But is that really where the story ends? Accounts from the Amazon raise an intriguing doubt. Local tribes describe a creature called the Gary's Frego, which bears an uncanny resemblance to the Megatherium. They say it can walk upright on 2 legs, emit deafening roars, and even flip over canoes in the rivers. These stories have been passed down from generation to generation, keeping the mystery alive. Many believe that deep within the still unexplored Amazon, such a creature could find the perfect hiding place. After all, the rainforest is vast, dense, and filled with secrets. Modern expeditions have only fueled the speculation. Explorers have reported finding massive footprints, destroyed vegetation, and even strange sounds echoing from the depths of the jungle. No concrete proof has ever been recorded, but that only heightens curiosity. For some scientists, the absence of evidence doesn't mean absence of existence. The tropical rainforest could still harbor undiscovered creatures, perhaps even survivors from ancient times. The Megatherium we thought extinct may still be watching Ushiden in the shadows of trees older than history. Pterosaurs were the first vertebrates to conquer the skies with powered flight. They weren't dinosaurs, but flying reptiles that lived from the late Triassic until the end of the Cretaceous period. Some species had wingspans of over 30 feet, dominating the skies in terrifying fashion. With hollow bones and light bodies, they were built for flight, yet could also move swiftly on land. Feeding on fish, small animals, and carrion, they were among nature's ultimate predators. Officially, they disappeared 66 million years ago, but was that truly the end? Modern sightings defy science. In Papua New Guinea, locals speak of a creature called the ropen described as having leathery wings, a long tail, and even a strange bioluminescent glow at the tip. They claim it soars through the night sky, terrifying villages and attacking livestock. In Texas and Arizona, eyewitnesses have sworn to seeing massive winged reptiles gliding silently overhead. Their descriptions align almost perfectly with what we know of pterosaurs. Could these simply be myths or something far more real? Some reports even mention cattle being attacked, their bodies left with mysterious marks. While no scientific evidence has confirmed such creatures, the fascination persists. Cryptozoologists argue that in a world where giant sea creatures are still discovered in the oceans, why not in the skies or dense forests? The possibility that a survivor of the dinosaur age still flies among us is both terrifying and captivating. Perhaps the pterosaurs never really left at all. The moa was one of the most extraordinary birds to ever exist. Wingless, yet towering over 10 feet tall, it had incredibly strong legs and a long neck that allowed it to feed from the tops of trees. Native to the forests and plains of New Zealand, these birds were vital to the ecological balance of their habitat. But their story took a tragic turn with the arrival of humans. Around 1300 AD, the Maori people reached New Zealand. They quickly began hunting moas for food and destroying parts of their habitat. In just a few centuries, birds that had survived for thousands of years vanished forever. Officially, the last moa went extinct in the 15th century. And yet, mysterious reports began surfacing in the early 20th century. People claimed to have seen enormous wingless birds crossing trails and disappearing into the southern forests. These accounts often include massive footprints, broken branches, and enormous shadows slipping between trees. While science has no solid proof, some explorers believe the remote interior of New Zealand still holds undiscovered secrets. Its rugged mountains and dense, untouched landscapes make it the perfect place for creatures to go unnoticed. If any bird had managed to survive in silence, the moa would be the strongest candidate. To many, it remains a living legend of New Zealand. At the heart of the Congo River Basin, one of the most mysterious and unexplored regions on Earth, emerges the legend of the Mokele Mbembe. In the Lingala language, its name means the one who stops the flow of rivers. Described as a massive reptile up to 30 feet long, with a long neck and thick body, it resembles nothing less than a living Diplodocus, a dinosaur thought extinct for millions of years. The first written mention of the Mokele Mbembe appeared in the early 20th century, when European explorers documented the beliefs of local tribes. Natives say the creature lives in swampy regions and deep rivers. Some claim to have seen it crossing turbulent waters, creating enormous waves in its path. There are even stories of boats being overturned by its immense strength, as though it were defending its territory. Decades of expeditions have searched for proof, yet no definitive evidence has been found. Still, the stories endure. Skeptical scientists argue the sightings could simply be hippos, crocodiles, or large monitor lizards mistaken for something more. But descriptions of its long neck and massive tail don't quite fit these explanations. That's why Mokele Mbembe remains one of the greatest enigmas in global cryptozoology. Africa's jungles are vast, untouched, and full of secrets. Could it be that a dinosaur truly survived the ages, hiding in the shadows of the Congo? Woolly mammoths were close relatives of modern elephants, yet far more imposing. Standing up to 13 feet tall and weighing over 20,000 pounds, they were covered in thick fur perfectly adapted to the harsh Ice Age climate. Their enormous curved tusks, stretching over 16 feet, were used for defense and to dig through ice in search of food. For thousands of years, they roamed the plains of Eurasia and North America. Officially, they disappeared about 10,000 years ago, but a small population survived much longer than expected. On the isolated Wrangel Island in the Arctic, mammoths lived until about 4,000 years ago, meaning they were still alive when Egypt's pyramids were already standing tall. Even more astonishing, discoveries in Siberian permafrost have revealed mammoth carcasses almost perfectly preserved, with skin, flesh, and fur intact. Such findings reignited hopes that somewhere, in some frozen corner of the world, they might still exist. Modern science has gone further. Still, researchers have sequenced mammoth DNA and are working to recreate the species through cloning and genetic engineering. The goal is not just to bring them back, but to restore lost ecosystems and even help fight climate change. Meanwhile, Siberian hunters and explorers continue to report sightings of massive, hairy beasts crossing snowy tundras. Are these merely legends and illusions, or did the mammoths truly never leave us at all? Megalania was one of the largest land reptiles ever to exist. This colossal lizard could grow over 20 feet long and weigh nearly 1,000 pounds. A close relative of today's Komodo dragon, it was far bigger and deadlier. Scientists believe it was the apex predator of prehistoric Australia, hunting giant marsupials like diprotodons. With razor-sharp teeth and possibly venomous saliva, a single bite would have been enough to kill its prey. For thousands of years, it ruled the top of the food chain. What's intriguing is that some stories suggest the Megalania may not have disappeared completely. Aboriginal legends speak of giant snakes with legs roaming the land. In the 20th century, hunters in Queensland reported encounters with massive lizard-like creatures moving through the brush, leaving behind gigantic tracks. Even unusual footprints have been discovered in remote areas. Given the vast, untouched wilderness of Australia, the possibility that descendants of this monster still exist cannot be dismissed. Cryptozoologists believe the Megalania could survive in small, isolated populations hidden from human eyes. Australia's interior stretches for thousands of miles, much of it still unexplored, and could easily conceal such creatures. Skeptics argue the sightings are likely misidentifications of monitor lizards seen under unusual conditions. But the idea of a giant predator lurking silently across the Australian outback continues to inspire both fear and wonder. To encounter one today would be like stepping back into the age of dinosaurs. The Nandi bear is one of the most mysterious creatures of African cryptozoology. Stories place it in the remote regions of Kenya and Uganda, often appearing at night. Witnesses describe it as a cross between a bear, a hyena, and a leopard, a muscular beast with thick fur and a ferocious, aggressive nature. Those who claim to have heard it describe deep, chilling growls that strike fear into the heart. The strangest part? There are no native bear species in Africa, which makes the mystery even greater. Since the early 20th century, European settlers, travelers, and locals alike have reported encounters with this creature. Some say it stalks livestock. Others describe terrifying night attacks in remote villages. Giant tracks, claw marks, and mutilated carcasses only added to the legend. For the local tribes, the Nandi bear is not just a story, it's a very real threat. They speak of it as a powerful beast, capable of hunting silently and vanishing into the darkness of the savannah. Scientists have tried to explain the phenomenon in many ways. Some suggest it could be a relic species, perhaps a giant hyena that managed to survive in small numbers. Others believe it might simply be a rare mutation of a known animal, like a leopard or hyena. But to this day, no solid evidence has ever been found. Meanwhile, reports continue to emerge, fueling the enigma. If the Nandi bear is real, it could very well be one of the last great beasts still hidden in Africa's wild landscapes. The world we live in is vast, mysterious, and filled with secrets we've only begun to uncover. With every untouched forest, every isolated mountain, and every deep river, comes the possibility that something we thought extinct might still be alive. Perhaps these creatures never truly left us, perhaps they simply learned to hide from our eyes. After all, who can honestly claim we know everything that exists on Earth? If new species are still being discovered every single year, why not believe that giants of the past may still walk among us? What we call a myth or a legend today may very well become tomorrow's scientific fact. Now I want to hear from you, which of these creatures do you believe could still be alive? Leave your opinion in the comments below. This debate is just getting started. And don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves mysteries as much as you do. Because in the end, we never really know, the next great secret of nature may be hiding right in front of our eyes.